with a sting. Welcome to the 2018 Black versus Gold Spring Game at Alabama State University. Brought to you exclusively by HBCU Game Day. It's the final look at the 2018 Hornet squad before fall camp begins in August. So sit back, enjoy the game, get ready for the band, the Stingettes, and the Honeybees. Our broadcast begins now, live from Montgomery. Hello everyone and welcome to live coverage of the 2018 Alabama State Spring Game. I'm Tolly Carr for HBCU Game Day. Hope you guys are enjoying the afternoon. It is a beautiful afternoon here in Montgomery. We are so glad to be here as springtime has come to a close. It's been 15 practices for Alabama State, and it is now time to play one more time, Black versus Gold, as we get ready to end the spring and then come back for fall camp. And before you know it, the game with Tuskegee will be upon us. The Mighty Marching Hornets playing the national anthem here. And the Donald Hill Ely experience begins full throttle for this season. Last year he finished out as the interim head coach and really did pretty good. After an 0-5 start for the team, Brian Jenkins was released and Coach Ely comes on and finishes out the season at 4-2. And now it is all his. There's no more interim. There's no more, well, the backup quarterback into the game. He is the starter with no doubt. So one of the things that we're going to be looking at today is the battle at the quarterback position. Got a lot of young faces there. The incumbent coming back is Darryl Pearson Jr. Now, Pearson didn't start the season last year, but he came on in relief and finished strong. He's tall, he's lanky, he's left-handed, he's got a lot of speed, but like all of those guys out there, they are young. So when it comes down to who's going to get the job done, he is going to be one person that you keep your eyes on today. Now, he's going to have some company on the sidelines that someone he's very familiar with, and that is Travis Pearson, who was the defensive coordinator at Alabama A&M last season. Well, that is his uncle, and so now this season he comes over, and he is going to coach the safety. So it's always good when you have family in the picture, and it is definitely a family affair here at Alabama State University on the spring game. Thank you so much for watching here on our Fire TV app and watching on YouTube as well. A little bit of housekeeping. There will be some multiple duplicates on the numbers, so we'll have to keep our eyes out on that. So we might see some numbers, and a couple of guys might have the same number, so do bear with us here. We are about to get underway here, and Darryl Pearson is in. He's number 15. He has on that red jersey, so you know that they don't want to hurt the quarterback. The Mighty Marching Hornets sounding pretty good this afternoon. Pearson in the shotgun here. He's leading the gold team. And no one out there in the flat, so he just throws it away, and that'll bring up second down. We won't be keeping stats in earnest today, but we will keep up the score for you. So when it comes to passing yards and rushing yards, we won't take a deep dive into that this afternoon. All right, here we go on second down. Pearson looking, has a receiver, has some space, and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That's going to be about 5 yards shy of the first down, and actually it's going to be 3rd and 4. So leading the attack for the Gold is going to be Pearson, and when the Black gets the ball, Jimmy Farrell. He's a redshirt sophomore from Nashville. There's going to be some interesting receivers to watch out for today. We're going to talk about that as well. First down for the Gold team. That Alex Anderson. I'd like to thank everyone at Alabama State for welcoming HBCU Game Day into the fold this afternoon. I always enjoy our trips up to Montgomery. Short trip from Atlanta for me. A little sweep to the right and a dive just past the 40-yard line. So far the Gold is on the move. 5-yard pickup there. Oh, the sounds of neck ringing across Montgomery. Doesn't that just make you so ready for the summertime to get a little bit of that neck? Little play action here, looking deep. Our first deep ball of the, oh, and he brings it down. What a haul down at the 15. We'll have to see exactly. It looks like they're going to mark him at the 14 there. What a pass there. And that was Wallace Corker, sophomore from Stockbridge, Georgia. Big first down pickup there for the Gold team. That's going to put them in the red zone. Pearson moving some personnel around. Handoff, big hole there. All the way down to about the 3-yard line, and it looks like the Gold team may strike gold first. Alex Anderson on the carry. That's going to be a 1st and goal from the 3. The defense has been a bit porous here for the Black squad. We're going to go back to the run game and then a tackle in the backfield. That's a stop that the Black team needed. Nicholas Terry. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 after the tackle for the loss. We are at the new ASU Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama for the 2018 Alabama State spring game. Black versus Gold. Gold on the move. And that Black defense is stepping up in the red zone there. You know, they always say everything kind of compacts and contracts once you get into the red zone. And not that it's easy moving the ball downfield, but the Gold team was able to move the ball downfield with relative ease. But right now, the Black is stepping up on defense. Brings up 3rd and goal. Now from the 10-yard line. Let's see what Pearson cooks up. One back in the backfield. Ball deflected at the line, almost intercepted. So what looked like it would be a sure touchdown with the momentum that the Gold had, it looks as if we're going to go for a field goal here. And now sometimes rules are different in spring games, and so they're not going to defend the field goal attempt at all because it gets deadly down in the trenches. You don't want to have somebody hurt trying to block a field goal during the spring game. So the kicker will have a chance uncontested here. Be a good chance to see what the leg is looking like. And the kick is up, and it is good. So the gold strikes first, and they put 3 on the board. The black defense was, they were bend, don't break on that drive for sure. So they gave up a lot of yards, but they stepped up in the red zone. Tolly Carr here with you for the ASU 2018 spring game. Thank you so much for watching here on HBCU Game Day. Always a big thanks to my right-hand man, Toby Durham from HBCU Live, providing production today. So we've got cameras on the field, cameras in the stands, and bringing you all the action. And still plenty of time. Look, if you're just cutting around Montgomery today thinking about, what do I do? Come on to the stadium, man. It's free. You can get in. We got the Stingettes over there. I see the Honeybees, the Mighty Marching Hornets are sounding good. Plenty of space for you. And we're going to come back here with a little situational football. Look at that. Oh, we got to get a picture of that, man. That's. I don't know if you can see it. I got to take a picture. We got the HBCU Game Day logo up on the stadium here, stadium scoreboard. That is big, man. That's what they call earned media. Didn't have to pay for that one. Just make the little trip up here to Alabama. That's good stuff. All right, back to the action here. Enough self-promotion on our end. If you're new to the HBCU Game Day experience, you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. You might be watching us on YouTube right now. You might be watching us on your Fire TV app. But anywhere in the social media space, the keyword is HBCU Game Day. You can find us there. All right, reeling out and picking up the first down there. So it looks like what we're doing here is we're going to have gold versus black, but it looks like both offenses will don the white jerseys here. So here we go on 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle down to the 40-yard line. So for the black is, I have to see if that's Davis or Farrell because I got a couple of stats here. And that's actually going to be Davis, Kadarius Davis. Our initial roster had multiple people wearing the same number. But here we go with Davis. Drops back. Oh, got his hand on him. You can't sack the quarterback, but if you touch him, he has that red jersey, so special protections in this scrimmage here. So that's going to be good for a sack there. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 14. The ball spotted just outside of the U to the north of that stinger on the Hornet there. So we got to get something going. The ball right at midfield, 3rd and long for the black squad. So I'm going to remind you of this several times. Even though they have on white, that is the black squad there. A little slip and nothing but daylight and Alabama sunshine, and that's good for a 1st down. They won't tackle him, just a little 2-hand touch for the quarterback, but a good scramble there by Davis. Kadarius Davis, he's from Bessemer, Alabama. Redshirt freshman from Bessemer City High School. So we have a 1st down here. Just knocking on the red zone. Oh, put it in the basket, holds on to it. Davis can't provide much of a block there. And the 3 gold defenders on the tackle. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 13. So after a big pickup, the gold defense steps up. Got some, at least one coach there on the field getting a good view from behind center. Nothing downfield, checks off to the flat, and going to be a tackle right at about the 33-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th down here. So it is the spring game. So we might run some situational football here. Try to pull something out of the playbook and see what we're going to get. And from shotgun, trips to the left, rolling to the left, and a little two-hand touch there at the 30-yard line. And that brings up 4th down. I'm sorry, I got ahead of schedule. That was 3rd and long, but this is now 4th and 10 from the 30. Davis looks over to the sidelines. Ball spotted on the left hash mark. Got 3 receivers. Trips to the right. Single receiver up top. Davis in shotgun. One back in the backfield. Drops back. Looks over the middle. Has a receiver. If that's a catch, it should be good for a 1st down, and it is. Pretty good effort there by the Black offense. Facing 4th and long. And what would have been a really long field goal attempt. So they go for it, or maybe they just wanted to try some things out, but whatever the case was, it worked. You know, we could play a little Name That Tune today as well, as the Mighty Marching Hornets and my 43-year-old brain try to keep up here. Oh, nearly intercepted there. Tried to thread the needle, but the hole of that needle was occupied. I might need some help on Twitter. You can go to us at HBCU Game Day on Twitter. You recognize some of these songs that if you can type the title. I think that song has something to do with Bow Down. Is that Beyonce song? Where you bow down. I think that's what it is. My wife would be proud if I got that right. On 2nd down. Oh, pass broken up there. That's going to bring up 3rd. Trying to look and see. A finger might have got jammed on that play there. If you've ever played stick and ball sports, and if that ball hits your finger at the wrong angle at a high velocity of speed, it can pop that finger back and make it hurt bad. So going off the field there, that to the sidelines, that looks like Karan Ramsey. A lot of questions for Alabama State this year. Lost some strength at that corner position. So the defensive secondary has some question marks going into the season. We're going to talk about those wide receivers in a bit. Boy, they've got, you look at Deontay Mullins, a transfer from the U. And when I say the U, I do mean Miami. We got Tariq Allen, who's a transfer as well. Ismail Salim, he comes over from Troy. So they have 3 wide receivers who could really come in and make a lot of noise in the SWAC. It's still to be seen. Just because you're a transfer and you come from the FBS doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a world-beating season for you, and that field goal is no good. So the Gold holds on to a 3-0 lead, but you never know. You never know. You would think someone coming from the University of Miami to the SWAC might be a good outcome, but we will see on the field. Hey, thank you for joining us for the 2018 Alabama State Spring Game. Black versus Gold. Gold put 3 on the board. The Black was driving, but came up a little short there on the field goal. Tolly Carr along with you. Also, special thanks to the MVP TV Network, who is providing production along with HBCU Live as well. A lot of hands makes for light lifting. As our normal cast of characters at HBCU Game Day, closely monitoring the NFL draft this weekend. I know yesterday, I haven't kept up with it closely. I've kind of had all eyes on Alabama State. But Darius Leonard from South Carolina State went to the Colts. Brandon Parker from North Carolina A&T went to the Raiders. He'll soon be in Vegas, finishing out in Oakland, and hopefully we'll have some more HBCU guys get picked up before the weekend is over. A lot of that transaction is going to be undrafted free agent. We see that every year. So stick with HBCU Game Day here as Alabama State, the gold team, driving short of a first down. We'll keep you up to date on all that information about HBCU players who get drafted or signed and where they go and new opportunities for them. There's also the rival league to the NFL, which has a team in Atlanta. Michael Vick is the new offensive coordinator. So more pro opportunities. That's got some serious backing behind it. I think Dick Ebersol's son is behind that as well. And so more opportunities to continue that career for players at all levels. But, of course, we have a special place in our heart for HBCU players. All right, back to the action here. 3rd and 6. Oh, real estate there. That's going to be good for a first down. It's Pearson and Anderson hook up, a 7-yard completion. It's going to bring up 1st and 10. So we're in the first quarter, 2:53 to go. You're watching the black versus gold game here live on a Saturday afternoon from Montgomery, Alabama. I'm Tolly Carr, and we're having a great time. Hope to catch up with Interim Athletic Director Jennifer Lynn Williams before the afternoon is over. And you know, the main thing, I don't want to ask all those questions about the program. She went to Coachella. She was at Baychella. I got to hear all of that is what I want to find out about. Once we get the lowdown on Baychella, then we can talk about, you know, the sports side of it. But we got to cut to the nitty-gritty here. Beyonce set the world on fire. In case you missed, I mean, not that Beyonce needs any help setting the world on fire, but she had that HBCU-infused performance. The crew from Drumline Live, based out of Atlanta, they got together with her and they recruited some of the best. And man, they put on a show. In motion, around, and fighting for the extra yards. Almost to midfield, goes down at the 46-yard line there. 7-yard pickup, that's going to be exactly the real estate needed for a first down. So the Gold offense continuing to look well under the direction of Darryl Pearson Jr. He's from Sewanee, Georgia. Came on strong last year. He's lean, he's fast. Got a pretty good arm there. Receiver open and brought down at the 34-yard line. Big pickup, good for the first down. And that is McGee. So another first down here. Pearson operating exclusively. We got whistles here. Operating out of the shotgun all day. And our first penalty of the afternoon. And that's going to be a legal motion, and it's going to go against Isaac Nixon, the offensive lineman. 6'4", 280 from Banks, Alabama. 6'4", 280. Do not want to be behind him at the buffet. So just let me in front, Mr. Banks, please, sir. A little quick out there, and got about halfway to the first yard marker. Pearson has looked pretty impressive here, bringing the team downfield on a couple of drives here. The Gold offense taking on the black. Pearson drops back, has a pretty clean pocket. Open receiver, just shy of the first down, and a gang tackle there. But good composure in the pocket, good blocking. He went through his progressions, finding the open receiver. You never know how much you want to take away from the spring game. You are playing your own teammates, but you think back to last year. I was at the Tuskegee game. The offense had a tough time last year getting things going, but so far under Pearson, things are looking well. Those aren't SWAC rivals out there that hate your guts. It is a competitive matchup. These are your teammates, so don't want to overstate it and have a lot of hyperbole here, but so far looking good. Black defense looking good there as they penetrate the backfield. Bringing the runner down. More from the mighty Marching Hornets. I really hope the listeners at home can really hear and experience that like we can here. Because during the season, can't play so much during the game. Spring game, all that entertainment is free all afternoon long. Almost a touchdown, down to the 5-yard line. That was a 21-yard pickup.
And a goal first down, first and goal from the 4.
So now down to the 4-yard line. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They go to the left side again.
Left hand, stop for a 2-yard loss, second and goal from the 6.
And I do think that is Cook, C.J. Cook, the running back from Tuskegee, Alabama. We've had a lot of switcheroony on the roster for the spring game here, so some of these numbers might not be what you see. That is Cook. That's Gary Cook. I think I got my roster 3.0 that I'm going to go to right here. And once again, we see this. The gold offense can get downfield pretty good. Right now it looks like the red zone offense not as good as the red zone defense for the Black. So we are at the end of the first period. Boy, first quarter, that was fast. Gosh, that went by fast. The Gold is leading the Black 3-0. While we take a break, now's a good time to look back at, or while we have a break in the action, now's a good time to look back at last year's schedule or the results from last year. We talked a lot about, what happened. Brian Jenkins was the coach to start the year, and it was just a bad start to the season. There's no other way to put that. They open up with a loss to D2 Tuskegee, 14-6. Then you go to Troy, Kennesaw State. Oh, that was a woulda, shoulda, coulda. Prairie View A&M. Alcorn State was really the game. I was here. That was a Thursday night game, and you just felt a difference in the energy here. And you kind of felt like there was going to be a change, and after that, there was a change. And Coach Ely comes on and moves up from associate head coach to the interim head coach. And that was the bolt and Alabama State needed. They defeat Texas Southern. They win the Magic City Classic. They beat Jackson State. Then they lose at Grambling, or lose at home to Grambling. A lot of people lose to Grambling. Nothing to hold your head there. The Mississippi Valley State, that's the one that you really wanted. You don't want to have that loss to Valley. So that was a close one, and come back in the Turkey Classic last year, and they defeat Edward Waters pretty big. So let's take a look at this year's schedule. Coming up, we got Tuskegee again, then Auburn. Boy, that was going to be tough. Maybe some get back with Kennesaw State, Grambling. Losing a man at quarterback and running back there. We don't know what type of year it'll be for the G-men. Alcorn, same situation. Big-time running back and quarterback gone. South Alabama, Magic City Classic, then Texas Southern, Jackson State, Prairie View, and Valley. Back to the action here at the spring game, and Pearson looking for a receiver in the end zone, slightly overthrows him there, and it's going to bring up 4th and goal at the 6-yard line. And again, we'll have a uncontested field goal. Thank everyone for hanging out with us. Make sure you also head over to our website, hbcugameday.com, to keep you up to date on all of the latest from have all the latest on the NFL draft. I didn't have a brain freeze right there. I was multitasking. So as the draft continues on and the band plays on, the mighty marching Hornets. Hey, you know, the Honeybees, man, they are trying to get the attention of Janet Jackson. So Janet Jackson has this kind of thing where if you dance and like at her hashtag, like, I think there's an opportunity where you can dance with Janet, be a part of her show, and the Honeybees are trying to get down with Janet. So if you can support those ladies online at all, just let's get all in Janet Jackson's mentions so she knows all about the Honeybees. Wow. He was running downfield wide open there, just over midfield. Good pass by Davis to pick up the first down. But look, the Honeybees put the work in. There are many people who will make the argument, I'm here to see the Honeybees. So if you can help them with, looks like we're going to have a holding that's going to bring that back. But yeah, help those ladies out online with Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. I saw Janet Jackson in concert in Raleigh, North Carolina, about 2 years ago. Little Penny still got it. She still got it. So we love to see Alabama State involved in any way possible. Nice juke there. Little spin. Had one opportunity to make a move, and that was it. Kadarius Davis, quarterback for the Black. Now the Black is in the black, trailing Gold, the Gold team, their counterparts 6-0. Davis, 3-step drop and deflected it. I think that's an interception. That ball was tapped and intercepted by the Gold. So that's going to be our first turnover of the game, and that's going to put the ball in a pretty good position. So the Gold is going to be inside the red zone, right at about the 13-yard line. So after failing to convert on their last offensive drive, they're going to get the ball back. And they should have a pretty good chance to score here. But I said that before. At least I thought the first drive of the game, it looked as if it would be a sure touchdown. It turned out to be just a field goal. So after the turnover, the Gold is coming back as they lead the Black 6-0. On first down. Handoff up the middle, a lot of room. It's going to be down to about the 6-yard line. So Cook has it.
2nd and 2 from the 6.
Credit that turnover to Cameron Rampersad. He actually tore his ACL against Troy last year. So good to see him back in the game, back in the action. Fleet of foot and mobile. recovering from that ACL injury and coming up with the INT. Change of direction. You're not going to get much of a block from the quarterback. He's just going to kind of say, hey, come over here in this direction. Cook maybe ran 6 yards to pick up 1 there. The Gold leading 6-0 with the ball after the turnover. Darryl Pearson Jr., his uncle coaching the safeties, came over from Alabama A&M, where he was the defensive coordinator. You can really almost say there was a trade. It's almost like in the NFL where they can trade coaches and players. So Brian Jenkins leaves, and Connell Maynard picks him up over at Alabama A&M. And then Alabama A&M's defensive coordinator comes over to Alabama State. I mean, it's just, man, you see why these rivalries run so deep in Alabama, man. You got guys flip-flopping, switching sides. All in the sauce, knowing a couple of secrets here or there. That puts a lot on the table, man. So an uncontested field goal. He kicked that right into the stairwell. That was more impressive than making the field goal. The fact that he kicked it right in the stairwell there in the end zone. So the Gold now leads it 9-0. You're watching the 2018 Alabama State Spring Game here on HBCU Game Day. You might be watching us on YouTube, and you could be watching us also on our Fire TV app. Tolly Carr, along with production help today from the MVP TV network, as well as HBCU Live. Stingettes getting it in over on the other sideline. Looking good, sounding good. Accompanied by the mighty marching Hornet Band. The new ASU Stadium. If you haven't been out, I mean, some people, we might have some folks out there who aren't Alabama State fans and just came across the stream. This is one of the, I don't know, when it comes to HBCU football stadiums, I'm not going to bet the rent and say this is the nicest one out there, but it's in the conversation. I've been to some places, man, that I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to disparage them, but, woo, this is nice. And if you have not been, have to come check it out. I think it's been open about 6 years. About 6 years now it's been open. Toby Durham is his first venture here down to Montgomery. He's impressed. He also got a couple of free cookies, so that's all it takes for this guy, let me tell you. All right, so back to the action here. The Gold has managed 3 field goals. We don't have a touchdown yet. Firing out to the left side there and pick up to about the 30-yard line. That'll bring up second down. Davis is not having a bad game himself. I tell you, when you look at arm strength and this strong arm and quick feet, Pearson and Davis, very similar skill set. Big hole there. Near midfield, good for the first down on that carry. Jones Jr., that's Anthony Jones Jr. Picked up a 16 yards. So about 11-14 and counting to go here in the second quarter. The Gold leads the Black 9-0. And Davis is going to pull up and say, if that was real action, you probably would have got me. I know you can't touch me, so a little courtesy pull up there. there's one thing you don't want to happen in the spring game. You do not want your quarterback to get hurt. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You definitely don't want one of your top 2 quarterbacks getting hurt. So they're going to play with the kid gloves there. Davis with the handoff and good penetration, tackle in the backfield. That's going to bring up 3rd. So after a 3-yard loss, that's going to be 3rd and 17 there. Just over 10 minutes to go until halftime. I did hear something about a possible flag football game at halftime, but it involves some people about my age, so that could happen, that could potentially not happen, because people my age, your mind tells you, yeah, let's do this, let's do it, and then your body tells you, sit down. So we'll see what's happening at halftime. So we're going to have a uncontested punt here. So while that action is going on, I cannot describe to you like how big this is going to be when Tuskegee comes to town on September 1st. That is going to be a huge, huge game. And, you know, there's something that you can do. We actually have a T-shirt that you can buy. Now, it's a simple T-shirt. It's not like a, you know, crazy design or anything. That T-shirt simply says, "Beat Tuskegee, Don 1-18." You can get it in black. You can get it in white. You can get it for men or women. Just go to our Teespring store. That's teespring.com/stores/HBCU-game day. Man, get you one of those, wear it to the game, wear it around town, let everybody know which side of the fence you're on, because there is a big divide in the state of Alabama. I know one school is Division I. I know the other is Division II, but around here, you are either Tuskegee or Alabama State. Only about, 40 miles separate, just a little quick jump down I-85, and it is going to be rocking standing room only here in a couple of months when those two teams get together. All right, here we go. The Gold back on offense, and pass incomplete. I don't know if they're ruling he would have been sacked on that one or not. So it brings up 3rd down. Pearson drops back. He's got to roll out and just throws it out there. That was that was a little Brett Favre-ish with the long shovel pass, but he didn't have a lot of time. He had a small window, had to get it out of there. No time to draw that thing back. And that was really just a desperation move to avoid what would have been a sack, and a little stagnation here in the second quarter, as the two teams were kind of moving the ball up and down the field a lot in the first, not resulting in touchdowns, but a lot of field goals. So now the Black's going to get another shot. You're watching live coverage of the 2018 spring game from Montgomery, Alabama. We're on the campus of Alabama State University. It's a beautiful day here in Montgomery. It was a little chilly when I left Atlanta this morning, but It's always just a little bit warmer in Alabama. Like, Alabama has a special type of sunshine. It's almost like going to Florida, man. You guys just do it about 5 degrees warmer in Alabama, which is sometimes good. Sometimes it can get a little muggy, get a little hot. Make that Coca-Cola just a little more refreshing. All right, so here we go on first down. Completion out in the flats and near midfield. That's going to be good for a first down. So Davis jumping back up. All right, the run up the middle here. Another first down. So maybe after the defense give a little, take a little. Now they're back to giving a little. Throws the receiver just by an inch. He would have, man, that would have been good inside the red zone there. But just a wee bit too much sauce on that one. As we go to our instant replay here, this is the spot of the defense that has been here, live action to the right side of the line. That's going to bring up second down as the final spring activity after 15 spring practices. Couple of scrimmages. We are concluding with black versus gold. Right now the gold is on top, leading the black 9-zip. But the black is driving. Kadarius Davis. And there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a false start on the offense. So we'll tack on some yards there. To give it up to the band today, man. They have been playing nonstop. The trumpet, that's got to be a lot of lip burn playing that long. The stingettes, I'm thinking my quads, man, would be burning doing all that dancing. All right, out to the left side and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It's going to be about 4 or 5 yards shy of the first down. So that's going to bring up second down and 5. Gold on top of black this afternoon in Montgomery. About 6:16 to go until halftime. Drops back and, oh, good hand there. Just at the last second to get that hand up there. To knock that ball away. That's going to bring up third down and 5 from the 35. We have a little break in the action. Thanks for hanging out with us here today on HBCU Game Day. I'm Tolly Carr. If you are watching on our Fire app for the Fire TV app for the very first time, thank you so much. It's really a new initiative that we have going, trying to reach you no matter where you are. If you're watching just on YouTube right now, you can go to the channel store on Amazon. If you have Fire TV, make sure you download our app. It's absolutely free. You can see a lot of exclusive content there. We don't charge you anything. Now, your cable company, that's a different deal. Now, I can't help you with your data rates and all that, but as far as what you watch, no upcharge on that on our end. And if you're new to HBCU Game Day at all, like, who are these guys? Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We keep it pretty interesting and fun over there. On Instagram, we are at about almost 10,000 followers on Instagram. I hear they mail you like some free cookies and roses if you pass over 10,000 followers. So they don't actually do that. We would just like to get over 10,000. So follow us on Instagram if you can as well. That would be great. And on Facebook as well. I know Facebook is turning into the old Fogyville. Me, you, and my grandma hanging out on Facebook. But we are there as well as YouTube if that's where you're watching us now. And going right back, trying to find a sweet spot against that defense. The Gold on the move. Just over 5 minutes to go until halftime. Going to be 3rd and short here, and we're going to have a timeout. Going to have a timeout, okay. What do you guys think about the schedule coming up? What are your thoughts, your prognostication for Alabama State this year? You got Tuskegee. Well, let's talk about the games where you want some get back. You want to get Tuskegee back from the loss last year here at your place. 14-6. Should be another good one this year. Auburn, look, that is what it is. Good experience. You don't want to get hurt. You want to learn something from that game. Kennesaw State, that's a game Alabama State could have won last year. Lost it by 6. They'll have to travel to Kennesaw State. Not a long trip, just right outside of Atlanta there. Grambling, Alcorn. Is this the year where those two guys are maybe a little prime for the picking as opposed to the last, 4 to 5 years for those schools? South Alabama, of course, the Magic City Classic. Texas Southern, Jackson State, Prairie View, Mississippi Valley State. How many wins do you see on that schedule? Let me know. You can talk to us here on the YouTube channel in the comment section. You can talk to us on Twitter. Let me know what you think about the chances Alabama State has for 2018. Can this be the year for the Hornets in the SWAC? With this guy maybe leading the way, Pearson finding the open receiver down to about the 31-yard line. Coach Ely, is this going to be the year that he returns back as a successful head coach from the beginning of the year? It's not his first rodeo. He was the head coach at Morgan State for quite a while, from 2002 to 2013. So he's been around the block. Just a new opportunity to be a head coach again here at Alabama State. Pearson out in the flat, finds the receiver just shy of the first down.
7 yards, 2nd and 3 from the 25.
So that's going to be 2nd and short.
3rd and 3.
Now 3rd and short. Tolly Car with you today from Montgomery. Black versus gold here on the campus of Alabama State University. Pearson again. A little juke move there after the catch. And we are in the red zone. And Cook showing what he can do out in the open field.
1st and 10 goal at the 14.
Going back to Cook again. Picked up maybe a yard there. Or maybe we'll call it even. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Gary Cook is going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Cook from Tuskegee, Alabama. He can tell you all about that rivalry for sure. And the flag on the play and some whistles. A little false start on the offense. So we're going to back them up a little bit. Add on some yardage on this 2nd down. So that'll be 2nd and 15. It is 2:25 to go until halftime. On 2nd down, Pearson. He's looking. Ooh, tried to squeeze it in there, but again, the hand of that defender in there to knock the ball away. That'll bring up 3rd down. The gold over the black currently here in the first half as we get closer and closer to the halftime break, leading it 9-0. And another whistle. No flag, but we do see a whistle. Do hear a whistle. Timeout. So there's a timeout on the field. We'll stay right here. Pearson leading the gold. Downfield, trying to put up at least 3 more to make it 12-0, maybe a touchdown. We've seen lots of offense, but we haven't seen it result in a touchdown yet. Now, there's just something about a touchdown that makes that feeling really, really special. Kind of gives you a little more mojo when you see that work pay off and you can get into the end zone and score one. But so far, it's just been a split of the uprights and nothing else in that regard. So after the timeout, we're going to come back on the field, of course, and see what the gold can do here. But that black defense is really, man, the middle of the field, yeah, you can find some soft spots maybe, but in the red zone, they have not given up a touchdown yet, and the gold has had plenty of chances to get into the end zone, starting from the red zone after some long drives. But the black team steps up and so far have not given up a touchdown yet. Pearson gets tagged there. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Pearson on the keeper, good for 6 yards.
Picked up 6 yards on the play. You're watching the Black versus Gold 2018 spring football game here at Alabama State on HBCU Game Day. And it looks like we're going to have a field goal here. Okay. So he's at the 20, but it's going to be a 30-yarder because you got to get 10 yards for the end zone there. Kick is up. Kick is good. Well, what do you know? Another field goal. So the Gold has specialized in field goal this afternoon. They have found 4 of them. No touchdowns as of yet, but points are points, no matter where they come from or how you achieve them. They are up now 12-0. You know, some of the best football that you'll see here is right here on the hill beneath the scoreboard. I have seen some of the greatest Nerf and tag football games when people come out, bring their kids, and, man, those kids somehow magically find their way to that hill, and it is on and popping, as the young folks say. Boy, I sound old, don't I? Talking about what the young folks say. I just try to stay in my lane, man. That's all I'm out here doing. Staying in my lane. All right, the Black would like to get into the lane of the end zone, and Davis is just going to, in essence, give us a fancy spike there. He didn't have anything, so he just threw it into the dirt in the vicinity of a receiver's feet. You know, another thing that this stadium has, the new ASU stadium, it has great acoustics, man. When the band hitting those horns and drums, man, it just echoes all over the place. That is sounding good. On second down, we're going long downfield. He had to wait on it. Man, he was so open. He could just wait on the ball there. That's Palmer Graham. Oh, as pretty of a pass as that was, as pretty of a catch as it was, could have been a touchdown if he would have led the receiver. But I think he gave him all the air he could underneath that ball, and it's all for naught. It's coming back because of a holding penalty. Man, look, let me tell you, officials aren't even popular in springtime. They can't catch a break. We saw one of the prettiest plays all afternoon. Ruined by a holding call. You know, they say you can call holding on every down. Don't call it on that one. But they do. Okay. You know, look, this is practice time for the officials, too. They got to get it right, just like the players out there. But, man, that was pretty, but it's now 1st and 20. Let's do it again. He had to wait on it again. We have interference. No. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing. The receiver can get open. The protection holds up. The quarterback's either got to throw that sooner or he's got to throw it harder, because on both possessions there, the receiver had to slow down and wait on the ball. So he's got to see that develop a little. If that's all the arm he has, which that's, heck, more arm than I've ever had, but if that's all he has, he's got to get that out a little bit sooner to get the timing of that play down right. Oh, they tried to set. Oh, that's going to be an interception. They tried to set up the screen there. Off the receiver's hands into the hand of the defender, and I think he scooped it before it hit the ground. Let's go back and take a look. It's the replay, and boy, a couple of turnovers, both for the Gold Squad. So they've come up with 2 interceptions, and again, we're in the same spot. Gold in the red zone. Are they finally going to score a touchdown, or will the Black hold them to another field goal? $1:36 to go until halftime. We're at the Black versus Gold spring game in Alabama State. Up in the press box, we peeled the windows back. We just got the open air coming in. It's a nice spring afternoon, and if you're in the vicinity, still a chance for you to come by and check out the action in person. And we have a multitude. I think everybody who had a flag threw one. And that's really a hard pass on Pearson. He's a left-hander. He was rolling out to his right, had to throw across his body there. That's really tough. That's like a righty rolling out to his left side, throwing across his body. But just overthrew the receiver a bit. But there is and it's going to go against the defense. And that's going to be a 10-yard holding penalty. So works to the favor of the Gold offense. And that brings up a automatic first down. Let's see what the Gold can pull out of there. What rabbit, what hornet can they pull out of the hat here to finally get in the end zone? Oh, that would have been a pretty good shot intended for Cook there. Just Baby Ruth, Butterfingers. That brings up second down. second down, drops back. Once again, Cook, that's 2 times in a row there. So Cook has the moves, but just has not had the hands the last couple of plays. That one was a bit low. It was around about the knees. I think I recognize this song. What's the guy's name? Kendrick Lamar? Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty? Is that it, or is that somebody else? Through the hands again. Let me know online if I get any of this right. My media consumption these days is like 98% Disney Channel. I have 2 young kids at home, so if I were to turn back on the TV looking for stuff that I'm familiar with, I'd still be looking for like the Source Awards. Do they still do that? Is that still a thing? I don't know. And the kick is up and good. Another field goal. So 15-0, the Gold has just, I'm gonna run out of fingers counting the field goals here. I've already used up one hand. They've got 5 in the first half. We're on pace for a 10 field goal game here. Thanks a lot to everyone hanging out with us on YouTube and a Fire TV app. I think we had Coach Carpenter chiming in and letting us know that he's enjoying the coverage. And Coach Carpenter, I can tell you to look for more in the fall. The fans have kind of demanded they want more live action receivers looking over his right shoulder. The ball was somewhere in the neighborhood of his left knee. So a little meeting of the minds there on to the right, to the left. Got a $1:18 to go here before halftime. Field goal fest from the Gold. They've put up 5 so far. Offense has done a great job of bringing the ball, moving the ball downfield. When they get to the red zone, man, it tightens up. You know, if I were you right now, I would go and get my tickets for the fall. You know, season tickets. Sure, they'd love that around here. But if you're just kind of picking and choosing, you know, man, we'll go to this game, go to that game. If you're going to the Tuskegee game, find out, like, right now. You might want to park in, like, June. Come just leave your car over here in June. Get you a good spot. It is going to be on fire. I came last year. What did I do? I went to the first half of Alabama, the other Alabama A&M school. They were playing UAB. So it was UAB's return back to football. I hung out there for a half and came over here. Man, like I should have come like 2 hours sooner than I did. I parked in a tree over at the park across the lot, across the highway. It was the last spot available. I just hung my car up in the tree, and I came over here. Man, it was big crowd, big arm, and an interception here. Bringing it back the other way. Got some blockers. We got some movement. We might have ourselves a touchdown at the 30, at the 20. Oh, let the quarterback catch him there. Okay, here's the deal. He didn't want to buck the quarterback because you'll be in a lot of trouble if you hurt the quarterback. So he just let the quarterback catch him there. He's going to hear about that one. He's going to pick on the quarterback for the interception, and the quarterback's going to pick on him because he walked him down. All right, coming up at halftime, we have the Alumni flag football game. We got a couple of honorary coaches. L.C. Cole, Reggie Barlow. Am I reading that right? Does that say Reggie Barlow? Oh, you can always return home. Reggie Barlow back in business here. He's doing a great job down at Virginia State. Man, look, I've been known to spend some time in the CIAA. Y'all come take Reggie Barlow somewhere. He's beating up everybody. I might have graduated from Winston-Salem State 8,000 years ago, and Barlow's been, man, come on. Come on. I know you're happy. I know you're happy here at Alabama State, but y'all make a home for Barlow somewhere. Get him out of the CIAA. Yeah, so we're going to do flag football here. I'll tell you what, they are going to kind of get things situated here. I know these guys are going to have to stretch a little bit, so I'm going to let my crew stretch a little bit. I want to tell you about some things that we have available for you. We have a T-shirt line, some limited edition designs for the people who like to represent and support HBCUs. We'll let you check that out, and we'll be right back in just a minute here on HBCU Game Day.
So hard, bro.
Yo, first time it's hard.
Ending spring with a sting. Welcome to the 2018 Black vs. Gold Spring Game at Alabama State University. Brought to you exclusively by HBCU Game Day. It's the final look at the 2018 Hornet squad before fall camp begins in August. So sit back, enjoy the game, get ready for the band, the Stingettes, and the Honeybees. Our broadcast begins now, live from Montgomery.
Okay, welcome back here. We are at halftime of the Alabama State Black and Gold game. Gold currently leading the Black 15-0. Now, we don't have official stats. They're not keeping up with yardage and tackles and all of that today. But I can tell you that both offenses have looked fairly decent moving the ball downfield. The biggest difference has been in the red zone. The Black obviously has been able to get to the red zone a couple times, not punch it in, had a missed field goal. The Gold has been able to get to the red zone quite a bit, but they have not been able to punch it in for a touchdown. They have only been able to come up with these field goals here. So Darryl Pearson Jr. Looks like the guy. They have 4 quarterbacks coming back, but Pearson is fast. He's able to scramble. Both quarterbacks look good. Now I'm not saying that either quarterback doesn't look good, but I would say right now that Pearson might be the incumbent heading into it. We got a little flag football happening in the background. Some ASU alumni. We have honorary coaches, L.C. Cole, Reggie Barlow back. That's good. That's good to see Coach Barlow back at Alabama State. It's where he made his name as a player. He was once the coach here. You know, there was a little rough patch there, but glad to see him back. It's always good when you can return home. Well, that is a good thing. Thanks to everyone hanging out with us. I asked you earlier, what did you think Alabama State could do with the schedule? Maurice Salter says, tough schedule. They could go 0-6 out of the gate. You think so, Maurice? Let's take a look at that first 6 again. You got Tuskegee, you got Auburn, Kennesaw State, Grambling, Alcorn, South Alabama. You know, the thing is, what's Grambling going to be? What's Alcorn going to be? That is the question that you have, because you would think, look, throw out the Division I versus Division II business with Tuskegee. It is such a rivalry that those things almost negate each other. Tuskegee is a tough out. They beat a couple of SWAC teams last year. Actually worked against them in the Division II playoff selections because they said they didn't have enough D2 wins, but they had, 2 D1 wins? So, but I say all that to say, you just can't say, oh, Tuskegee's D2, we're going to run them over. So I understand that'll be tough. There'll be a lot of emotions. It'll be the first game of the year. It's going to be hot. People are going to be cramping up. All sorts of things in play for that first game. At Auburn, look, it's financial, people. It's economics. You got to get paid. You got to collect that check sometime. You go to Auburn and you collect that check. Kennesaw State. I don't keep up with the comings and goings of Kennesaw State, so I can't tell you exactly how good they will be. But just based off of last year, that was a 6-point game. There should at least be one win there, at least one. I mean, just throw Auburn out, okay? Tuskegee, Kennesaw, you would think you would get one there, and I wouldn't be surprised if you get 2 wins there. Again, the big question will be Grambling State. Who is Grambling State going to be this year? Devontae Kincaid will not be there. Mr. Excitement in the backfield is not going to be there. Alcorn State, that backfield is not going to be there. Lenoris Footman is not going to be back there at quarterback. So Pat White is a quarterback coach, but Pat White doesn't have any eligibility. He's not going to be out there throwing the ball. So we don't know. You know, I'm not saying that they're going to go downhill, but you just don't know. I think those are the question marks that you have there. Martez Carter, Devontae Kincaid gone from Grambling. Footman gone from Alcorn. Dynamic running back there at Alcorn won't be back as well. They're seniors. They're gone. South Alabama, that'll be a tough one. Alabama A&M, look, that's the Magic City Classic. You got a lot of emotions. You got a brand new coach at Alabama A&M. Connell Maynor is almost won a national championship at the D2 level at Winston-Salem State. At Hampton, didn't quite find the magic that a lot of people thought, but look, there's some players over there at Alabama A&M. Don't think that that's not the case. Texas Southern, bad year last year. You would only think it's going to be better. don't think it's going to get worse. Jackson State, they were up and down. Prairie View. What are you going to have there? Mississippi Valley State for the Turkey Day Classic. So 0-6, I don't know. I'm making that argument against 0-6. Emmett Major is still talking to us there. He says if this offense can't be offensive, they won't beat Graham. Defenses look good against them the last 2 seasons. Coach Carpenter's not going to make any predictions until the fall. Coach, that's not any fun, man. But that's what coaches do, right? Like, coaches don't say anything to controversial. They just go with the flow. But hey, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You are watching here on YouTube and also on the HBCU Game Day Fire TV app. The 2018 Black versus Gold Spring Scrimmage, the spring game here in Montgomery. The Gold leads it at halftime, 15-0. The mighty Marching Hornets piping up in the background as we have a little alumni flag football on the field. We don't get to see the honeybees really put that sting on you like they do on the field, man. They're just in the stands today, and the Stingettes as well, but they will have a show for you on September 1st at that Tuskegee game. I guarantee you that, without a doubt. Just over 8 minutes to go here. We'll have to see if the Black can get back and put some points on the board here. They have done pretty good in the middle of the field. Just getting down to that red zone has been a problem. I'll tell you one thing that is not a problem, and that's players from HBCUs who have made it, or at least drafted, in the NFL. And we've had a couple of players go so far this weekend from both South Carolina State and North Carolina A&T. I've not kept up with anything today, so if anyone else has been drafted today, I totally missed that. But Brandon Parker was the last player that I saw drafted, and he goes to the what is now the Raiders before they go to Las Vegas, where they will still be the Raiders. So that's a pretty good shot there. Darius Leonard, South Carolina State, he goes to the Indianapolis Colts. So he will join that defense there. So pretty exciting time. Still have a lot of players to look out for. I think a lot of those transactions, we talked about this earlier, could end up being undrafted free agent signings. A lot of those will happen as soon as the official draft is over. And a lot of times those guys get on the phone and talk about those things before the draft is over. But hey, however you can make a team is definitely a dream come true. We've been having a lot of fun this afternoon. I'd like to thank some of my production partners. Toby Durham from HBCU Live and the MVP TV network has been here. Bill Nelson and his crew. And it takes a lot of people to make these things happen. When you want to do it well, we want to bring you the best in HBCU sports. And so we bring the whole team together and we have a good time. So just about 6 minutes to go until we resume action for the second half. We'll see if the Black can get back on the scoreboard as they trail the Gold right now, 15-0. We'll keep the video here. We'll take a quick break, and we'll talk to you again momentarily. You're watching HBCU Game Day.
So hard, bro. Yo, first time smiling.
And we are back here in Montgomery for the 2018 spring game. The gold leading the black right now, 15-0. I'm Dolly Carr. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can always catch action with the latest in HBCU news and sports in a couple of different places. Our website is a good place, hbcugameday.com. You can hang out with us on Twitter and Instagram. Keyword is at HBCU Game Day, and Facebook and YouTube as well. We're on OTT for you. If you're hanging out with us on the Fire TV app, you can do that. That's what you're doing right now. And if you're going to that Tuskegee game, man, I'm telling you, you got to represent. And if you want everybody to know that you want to beat Tuskegee, we got a t-shirt for you. 10% of sales from all of these t-shirts go to the United Negro College Fund, and it goes directly there. It's not like I say we're going to give it to them, and then I got to go figure out 10%. No, as soon as you swipe your safe credit debit card transaction, that 10% immediately goes to UNCF. So just go check out our store. It's at teespring.com/stores/HBCU-game day. Now, I don't expect you to remember all that or write it down really fast. If you just go to our website, hbcugameday.com, we have a shop tab at the top of the website there. Just click on that shop tab. It'll take you right to our store. And we have some HBCU Forever t-shirts. We have some HBCU Game Day t-shirts. No matter what you buy, 10% of that sale goes to the United Negro College Fund. So let everybody know where you stand. Let everybody know that you support HBCUs and you support UNCF. We greatly would appreciate that. Hey. As we stand right now, just about a minute to go before the action resumes. And the gold currently leading the black, 15-0. Darryl Pearson Jr. has looked pretty good. That black defense, the gold defense, has looked pretty good too. They got 2 interceptions. And they also have kept the black off the scoreboard altogether. So the competition in the SWAC will, and out of conference, it's probably going to be a little tougher than just playing against. It gives you a little bit of context for what the players are going to look like in the spring. You can see some, or in the fall rather, you can see some potential. You can see what might result in some wins on the spring. Also, you know, we got some new faces here There's some new coaches on the staff as well. So Coach Ely comes in and take a look at just some of the new faces that'll be on the sidelines this year. So I want you to look at one of these coaches towards the bottom now. Just a quality control coach, but Tavares Jackson. Yeah, it's that Tavares Jackson. Familiar with the Alabama State fans, of course, after transferring in, but had an NFL career, picked up a Super Bowl ring, and now can help parlay some of that knowledge to the kids here at Alabama State. Looks like we are about to resume action here on the field for the third quarter. So just underway, the gold on top of the black. 15-0. And tell you what, I think we got a turnover there right out of the gate. I was actually kind of looking now, I'll be honest. I missed it. I got one set of eyes, and they were taking a coffee break really fast. And so here we go. On first down, firing out to the left side, and picked up about a good 5 yards on the play there. Officials are going to talk about another 15 yards here, a personal foul after the play, runs out of bounds, and this might be that golden opportunity. We keep teasing you for a touchdown. I might have put the jinx on it for the entire afternoon. The more I talk about touchdowns, the more we see field goals. Davis. And we have a touchdown. How about that? They do score them around here. So Davis hooks up on a 12-yard completion for a touchdown. So the black gets on the board with the first touchdown of the day. That was Wallace Corker, the freshman wide receiver from Stockbridge, Georgia. So just like that, we have ourselves a ball game. It had been just all gold, but touchdowns certainly trump field goals, and the black with the touchdown here, and now they are within a touchdown and 2-point conversion of getting right back in it if they wanted to go for the gusto, but we still have a lot of time to go this afternoon to see how things will unfold. But the Gold gets the ball back, leading 15-7. You're watching the 2018 Black versus Gold spring game here at Alabama State University. I'm Tolly Carr for HBCU Game Day. We are live as you watch this on Saturday afternoon from Montgomery, Alabama. Darryl Pearson has to throw it out of there to avoid the sack. A lot of pressure right up the middle. That'll bring up second down and 10. second down. And throws it too far in front of the intended receiver. That's going to bring up third down.
Third and 10 from the 35.
So could we see a resurgence of the black here in the second half? The defense is holding so far. The offense put a touchdown on the board, and the Gold has been a little stagnant here to start the third quarter, but it's still early. 11:14 to go here in the third. Pearson rolling back out to the left, and there's a flag back at in the backfield after Pearson was long gone.
Good for 15 yards.
Looks like a holding.
There's a marker down in the backfield.
So either the official threw that late, or they were holding long after the quarterback was gone.
Holding against the Gold. It's a 10-yard penalty. Third and 20 from the 25 for the Gold.
Either way, it was a holding. So that long return brought back. So that's going to be a 3rd and 20 here. And the black has just come out, and everything's going in their favor here in the third quarter. They get a turnover, they get a touchdown, and right now they have the Gold facing a 3rd and 20. I do know that song. That's SZA. I feel pretty good that that's SZA. All right, Pearson unleashes and is intercepted. Man, everything is coming up black here for the black squad here in the third. Pearson put that one on a rope, but it was just a bit off from the intended target. To go to, so we have a turnover here, and the black, let's see if they can ride that momentum to more points on the scoreboard. I love that song too, by the way. That's like Weekend, the Weekend. Yeah, something about the weekend, yeah. Yeah, my weekends these days are usually like cleaning up behind my children from the mess they made all week long. Do they have a song about that? clean up man. How about that? Yeah, we can do one of those. Clean up man. But the Mighty Marching Hornets sounded really good. They can hit that ballad, or man, they can turn up the pace on you as well. And Davis, actually that's Rocker. Dakota Rocker's in now. So Davis is going to give way to him. Dakota's from Atlanta. He's a redshirt sophomore. So we're getting a couple of different looks at the quarterback here.
First down. First and 10 from the Gold 39.
So on first down and 10 from the 39. Got a new quarterback in, Dakota Rocker. Out of the shotgun, drops back. Oh, over the hands of his intended receiver, but there's a flag on the play. The receiver was open. Ball just sailed on him just a bit. Let's see who this call is going to go against. Whether it's going to be against the offense or the defense. Officials discuss. Got a special guest coming up in just a few minutes. And that's going to go against the defense as the offense is walking forward. We got a lot of things to put on the table with interim athletic director Jennifer Lynn Williams, none of which is more important than the trip to Coachella. I saw that on her Facebook. We got to talk about these things. So Dakota Rocker finds another receiver there out. far sideline, and that brings up another first down. So on 1st and 10. Rocker hands it off. And that's Cook. And he is down to about the 6-yard line. So about 6:08 to go here in the third. 1st and goal to go. Hand off and dancing to the left, cutting back to the right. It's going to bring up 2nd down. In the end zone, did he bring it down? Yes, he did. And that's good for a touchdown. And how about the turn of events we see here in the third? Everything was just gold, 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 and don't bet against Black. So let's take another look at it. I mean, this was right in the corner. Let's see the footwork here. Just uncontested extra point. And look at this, 15-14 ball game. Black is coming back. They've been doing it with defense as well as offense. Make a little room here at the table. We have some important conversations coming this way. You know, when people want to talk to you, they get all, they think you're going to ask them all these questions. It's going to have a good time here. You ever know how people say, here comes my friend, my best friend. Joining us now, Interim Athletic Director, Ms. Jennifer Lynn Williams. Hey there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
It's going great. We have ourselves a pretty exciting spring game here.
Yes, yes. The Black team has come back pretty well because when I was on the field, it was 15-0.
I know. It was a field goal fest. The goal team was just driving down the field, couldn't get a touchdown, just got a whole bunch of field goals. And now the Black team has made it exciting. They've got a couple of turnovers and a couple of touchdowns. Coach Ely, he's got some good quarterbacks to choose from.
Yeah. I know that was a kind of a tough spot last year for us, but he really focused, him and his staff, on really going out and signing some really, really good young men.
All right, let's cut to the chase here. You went to Coachella, and I want to hear all about it.
Well,
I want to hear all about it.
Oh, Coachella. It was definitely an experience. I don't like big crowds of people, but I would definitely go again because the atmosphere was very laid back and everyone was super friendly and the artists were amazing. So from your superstars all the way down to your grassroots trying to break in, it was just a fun event.
Did you know that the Beyonce concert was going to be so HBCU-centric, or was that a surprise?
Well,
did she call you and like, hey, Jen,
well, B,
get ready.
They call, Baychella. It was really Jaychella. And so B actually reached out to me through one of her choreographers who's a Carolina grad. No, I'm just playing. But I did not know that she was going to do such a tribute to HBCUs, but I am so excited that she did. I knew a lot of the schools that were represented in terms of her dancers and the drum line. I knew the schools that, she had gotten those folks from, and it's just amazing to be on that platform. A lot of the people at Coachella, they didn't look like us. So to have her put that performance out there in front of a group that may not be familiar with historically black colleges and universities, I thought it was awesome.
And it was authentic. You alluded to it. I had a chance to do an interview with the guys from Drumline Live.
Okay.
This wasn't cultural appropriation. These were 8 former HBCU band members through Drumline who walk it like they talk it.
Yeah, it wasn't that these were official. Like, I knew one of the young men, he went to A&T. There was a Golden Delight, it was a couple of folks from A&T there. Norfolk State was represented. I mean, she really went through and made sure HBCUs were represented throughout her performance.
Yeah, and then for somebody like her, as we have about a 4-yard gain here, to put her money where her mouth is, to follow that up with the scholarship announcement for 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
We kept getting more and more news. That was just a great time for HBCUs the last couple of weeks.
And it was, and I just hope that it's something that you capitalize on. You don't want it to be just a one hit. It has to be historically black colleges like they do Howard. We have to start looking at it from within and put the value on that really changed who I was as a person. I grew so much. I was able to be around people who understood some of the struggles that we as minorities go through, and they were just uplifting and open and inviting, and it really was family. And that's that sense you get, family, and that you can do whatever you set your mind to.
You've got some big things coming up here, and the kickoff in September. We're going to get just a little tease of football, then you guys are going to get on the bus. But what type of things do you have?
But you think he's going to
We've already started from logistics, looking at how we're communicating. Of promotions that we're going to be offering.
How much does it help that there's so much promotion? It's not just like, oh, we're playing somebody. I mean, that's a blue
and Troy that day, you have them talking about coming over. So they saw the draw that came yesterday. People want to be a part of the game, and we've already had people have been asking about it since we ended the game last year, talking about it since then. So we're ready.
Is that something that is really big for, like, does that provide, look, everybody's always looking to make dollars and cents.
Right.
That's got to be a big financial boom weekend.
Absolutely, and we did very well last year. I think we netted at our gate a little over a aiming for close to $1 million this year. If we do it right and we sell and we start, you know, really getting some of our scanning and operations together, I think that game can easily blow that number out from last year.
All right, so if you're a fan out there, what should you do to make sure you don't get left out?
You need to get your season tickets today. We just had a drawing for those who
got so many great things to complement the football, which is on the rise here under Coach Ely. You got the Stingettes, the Mighty Marching Hornets. You got Honeybees. Do we have a touchdown? No, we don't have a touchdown. I know the Honeybees are trying to hook up with Janet. We got to get people to support them online.
A lot on social media, so I'm hoping she chooses them because they love Janet.
Yeah, and they've got the moves.
And they have the moves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, you hang out at Coachella. The best I can do. I went to a Janet Jackson concert 2 years ago. Mentioned something. Sure, like in one ear, out the other. Yeah, and then it's like the center of the universe, and I'm like, I wanted to go.
I wanted to be there.
Tell me what else is happening this spring. How you got baseball? We got
yes.
softball. We got all this.
We have a lot. So
you
right
guys are going to
now,
be hosting the softball SWAC championship, right?
Yes. So the weekend of graduation, Mother's Day, we softball SWAC championship. We hosted last year. We came in up a little short. We lost to Texas Southern in the championship game, but we're excited about hosting out there. They're going to leave next week, I believe Wednesday, and we'll be in the Texas area. So if any of our alums, you know, our Houston alums, come support us out at Prairie View. We'll be there May 4th.
They both have looked good in their own right from the first half to the second half.
Yeah.
You talk about these spring sports. I think those athletes. You were a big time basketball player in the ACC.
Long time ago.
The salt of the earth of college athletics.
You know, when you look at your across the board is that you're a student first.
All right, tell me what's going on now. You guys have had a lot of transition over here. You got a new president. The interim coach became the head coach. On the website, it still says interim beside your name, but you got to show up and you got to approach it like full time. Forget all that interim stuff. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. that I have the support of our president, our chief of staff, our board, and my staff is awesome. We're a little small when you look at the because our teams aren't stopping, so we have to keep going forward and making sure we're putting in a great effort day in and day out, because that's the expectation of our coaches, of the coaches and our student athletes.
Here's the thing I love. You got a lot of young people over here doing stuff. And look, we all grew up, and you gotta make way for young people. The world is changing. The way your fans consume media, interaction, the way you sell tickets, like all of that is changing. Like, how much of you and your staff, Terrence, he loves staying in the shadows over here. But I know you got a gym over here in this guy.
Yes.
Like, how hard is it to keep up with old fans, new technology, like that whole mix?
It's challenging. I would be lying if I said it wasn't, but you never want to leave anyone out, and we want to make sure that we're able to tell our story, whether it's from a social media platform, but you can't forget about our season Hornets who aren't on social media. So you have to look at doing, whether hard media or print. That we can't afford to leave out, because that's the demographic that's giving the money, that's buying the season tickets. So.
Those people that show up in all those RVs out there.
Exactly.
And roll out the newspaper. They're still reading the newspaper, yeah. Or as my grandma would say, don't put me on that Facebook.
I don't do that Facebook thing.
Yeah, well, look, I think you're doing a great job. Thank you.
A few hours this and south.
There's a connection there.
There's a connection. I can see it. And Tracy was like our mom, and I didn't.
Good for 14 yards at right hand. And a goal first down. First and 10 goal to the 25.
Just about dirt. I went to Coachella. I'm joking.
Now that's a different story. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out. I know you got some people you probably need to go shake hands and talk to before they get out of here down in the sweet life below.
Yeah, this will be my first time bopping in.
25. Pass complete to Jones. Good for 7 yards. 3rd and 3 from the 17.
Really bright, has a lot of good energy, and so far has been doing a good job here. That ball is just a wee bit outside. 3 minutes on the dot to go here and counting. will the Gold make a comeback? No one's going to remember the score of this game and who won. It's kind of an immediate. In the fall, quarterbacks, some good-looking wide receivers. The running game has looked pretty good. Surrounding Alabama State is who's going to step up and replace some of those cornerbacks back in the secondary that they lost from last year. But we've seen a couple of INTs here. Some of them were tipped at the line, so not necessarily all of them down in the secondary department. But we did have one, the long run back there right before the end of the first half. So. Looking good. So glad that the football god said today in Montgomery we're going to have ourselves a game. And we were blessed with some great weather here today. As we are winding down here, is the next time you see Alabama State, it will be on this field, and it will be against Tuskegee. Hey, Tuskegee, woo, woo. That's what they say down there in that part of Alabama. And I've seen some people, they like to get on Photoshop and Photoshop the shed in over there when they get a win. I know they did that last year, and I know a lot of Alabama State fans out there eat those words. Not on the HBCU circuit, $1 million game, man. Would love to see that. That would be a great feather in the cap and a great representation of both schools. And that's going to be the final buzzer, folks. In Montgomery, they're all teammates once again, but for 4 quarters of competition. The Black didn't do anything in the first half score-wise. They put up 3 touchdowns in the second half, and the Black had 5 field goals in the first half and pretty much didn't do anything in the second half. So Coach Ely will take it all in, look at the tape, dissect what he saw, and they'll get back together for fall camp and try to get it right for the 2018 schedule. Let's take a look at that schedule one more time before we get out of here, because that's where business is going to pick up. So like we said, the next time we see them, Alabama State is going to be against Tuskegee at home. Go ahead and get your season tickets down. Don't mess around. Don't dilly-dally with that. Then there's Texas. So look at the home games. It's going to be a lot of travel. The games are going to be played here at the ASU Stadium. It's going to be Tuskegee, Texas Southern, Jackson State, and then Turkey Day Classic against Valley. Now, they're going to be on the road at Auburn, at Kennesaw, at Grambling, at Alcorn, at South Alabama. Alabama A&M's not going to be a road game. It's the Magic City Classic, so it is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? I don't have to explain that to you. Then also on the road at Prairie View. So get here for that Tuskegee game, because you won't see them again until November. Well, you'll probably see them late October, because I know you're going to the Magic City Classic. Everybody and the mama goes to the Magic City Classic. But Texas Southern, Jackson State, and then one more time here at Mississippi Valley State. So as the players talk on the field, I'd like to say thank you once again to Toby Durham from HBCU Live. Toby is, of course, big on the HBCU circuit, streaming games as well. So keep up with him. You can follow his YouTube channel, HBCU Live. He'll keep you up to date on what he has going on. The good folks, Bill Nelson and his crew at the MVP TV Network, chipped in today with some camera work on the field for us. And all the folks, Travis Jerome, the sports information director. He's not the fixer, but he's like that fixer guy where he takes care of everything that needs to be taken care of, and you just don't always see him. But he's a good friend. And he also played a big part in making things happen here today for HBCU Game Day and the spring game. So before we leave you, don't forget to check out HBCUGameDay.com all weekend and follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you up to date on the NFL draft and which one of your favorite NFL players or HBCU players might make it to the NFL either as a draftee or a undrafted free agent. So it's all over here. The black gets the win over the gold, 21-15. I'm Tolly Carr. It's been a great afternoon, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us on today's broadcast. It's been our pleasure. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you around the corner.